Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today we'll talk about Google Pixel 4a leaks and why Google continues to make hardware. This is indeed the curious case of the Pixel. So prior to jumping into a full-scale analysis of what's wrong with Pixel phones, it might be a good idea to kind of run through the specs of the Pixel 4a first. Well, slated to have the cameras in terms of having a square back camera, a hole punch front camera cutout. The processor is going to be Snapdragon 730, not the A65 that Samsung Galaxy Ultra S20 Ultra has seen this year. The device could come in two variants, one with 4GB of RAM and the other with 6GB of RAM. In terms of prices, it would start at $399. So let's talk about flagging Pixel sales. Alright, let's talk about the resale values first. As you can see, compared to other premium brands, the Google Pixel phones lose about 50% of their value so quickly. Now, look at Apple. They lost about 25% or so of the value. Samsung 34%. But Google, on the other hand, is comparable to LG. And even BlackBerry, a brand that has stopped producing phones as far as I'm aware, has got a lesser loss of value year on year. This is not a good start. Alright, so the truth is, even Google's own financial reporting doesn't break out the numbers in terms of sales and revenues made out of the Pixel phones. Hardware is a category where the sales are slated to be around $6 billion, but we have really no way to be sure how much or how many units of each of the Pixel phones were actually sold by Google. All right, so you can take a look at, a discrete period of time for some graphical comparisons. Please don't look at the numbers because timing may not be that much to appreciate the difference. But if you see, the colors, Samsung is in gray, Apple in red, and Google in blue. As you can see, the percentage of Google as compared to the rest of, the phone manufacturers really shows that their numbers are so low. That could potentially be a reason why Google really does not care in terms of the kind of product it makes and treats it really as a vehicle for its software development. That could be one possible reason. Another possible reason really is the fact that, the kind of infrastructure you need to put in place for any kind of phone sales. Apple's customer care is really good, so is Samsung's. So it takes a lot of infrastructural investments to come to that point where you really can push off and, benefit from it. But yeah, in short, the sales graph shows that Google isn't even playing the same game when it comes to smartphone sales as Apple and Samsung are. Right, so it's needless to say that Google Pixel 3 XL trade-in value is a paltry $185, contributing to the overall perception of the Pixel phones really having no value at all once you buy them. So there have been many theories about why Google keeps making Pixel phones. There are some people who say that it's about strategy, it's about giving a platform to have some sort of hardware capabilities. There are some other views that say that Google really wants to drive Android development in an area that it would like to nudge other OEMs to. So, if you did an online search of just the words Google Pixel, you'll find a lot of disgruntled users complaining about the hardware problems with the Pixel phones. So, we really have to ask ourselves the question, what does Google want the Pixel line to be? Because clearly people are not happy with hardware choices and compromises that Google keeps making from time to time. So, there are questions to be asked. Is there a clue we can get from Google's own pronouncements and articles online about their founders and related people, if they have said something about the Pixel phones? Former CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt, actually really compares the development of smartphones to their software. In software, you ship and iterate, right? You create new versions and the development of the smartphone is quite sort of closely matched to that. In his view, at least, it seems that you ship, Pixel 1, and over generations up until Pixel 4, you refine the product. Unfortunately, for Google, that ship has sailed because the other manufacturers have had at least a 5-year to 8-year head start. So, and combine that with the fact that their Pixel hardware team really is, I presume, the HTC team, they haven't really had the horsepower that a lot of the other manufacturers have had. Finally, we've reached the conclusion of the video, but we should talk a little bit about brand strategy, right? Usually with a luxury product, for example, in the smartphone world, if you take a look at iPhones, consistency is the key to brand success, right? iPhones are consistent about the way they price their product, which is kind of seen in their resale value as compared to Pixels. As we saw earlier in the video, they don't hold their resale value as much. So consistency is really the key to brand success. With Pixel phones, each year we see that phones come out at $1,000 and the price dips precipitously in say about a few weeks time. So this really isn't how you go about building a luxury product. I say the word luxury because Pixel itself, by pricing at $1,000, clearly wants to be a luxury product of some kind in the league of the iPhone. A brand's price is just as important as its equity, right? And brand equity, what's price really got to do with the sort of equity of the brand? Well, if you want to be profitable, you got to create a sustainable price, right? So the consumers associate the brand with a particular pricing. If you keep discounting your products often, consumers really are not going to consider it to be a premium product, right? So that's sort of another argument in that same vein of the price cuts that Pixel goes. But to conclude, my views on the Pixel lineup of hardware is simply this. I think there is immense value in the Pixel phones if they're priced correctly, or you either decrease the price to what you think this phone deserves, or you keep the prices where they are but increase the quality of the phones to a point where Pixel can legitimately be considered a luxury phone. In its current format and situation, I genuinely do not believe that Pixel is seen by consumers as a legitimate luxury phone contender along the lines of the Samsung Galaxy line as well as the iPhones. So I am, as a guy who loves the Pixel phones, I genuinely believe that they should work harder in order to listen to customers and give us a Pixel phone that we can truly enjoy.